Mm-hmm. Hey, baby. What I want to hear? I really want another station. I don't want to hear any of these stations, to be frank. Nope, don't want to hear you either. Let's see what Peace and Love talking about. Our theme song. Our theme song. We have a lot of new baby boobies, so I don't know if we have any OGs who know about the theme song. But the theme song is on, and unfortunately, I still can't jam to it and like blast that thing like I used to in a past life before the Crystaline Mars show, before we added YouTube. But it's playing in the background right now. Where my OGs at that knows of the theme song? This is my song, and I'm so blown that I can't just like, it's okay. Because like the message of the day, embrace the bitters and create the sweetness, okay? And it's all right. I'm grateful that the song still played. I still get to vibe to it. I still get to hear it. And I still get to share this space with you. Baby boo, there's my song in the back. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, baby, you whack. Nah. You said I'm new. What is it? It's called A Change We Need. And I can't be quiet for too long, because if I be quiet for too long, YouTube gonna flag us. Oh my gosh, this was our shit. Molly J, OG. Molly J, the theme song on, and I'm turned up because it just randomly played on Pandora. Oh my gosh, this is my song. I ain't heard it in a minute either. Hey D-Rock, peace YouTube babies. Welcome in, Melanated Graffiti. You already know what it be. Dun, 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 dun. No. Okay, I gotta cut it down. Damn. Oh. But how are y'all? How is your evening, your afternoon, your morning, whatever it is for you at this time? No. Peace, Hunter Ceremonies. She said, glad to see you made it home, Molly J. For real. I got on my comfy slippers. I'm grateful to be home. I'm here. I made it. I'm grateful. I'm elated. Hey. Melanated said, we're still without power, but we have a generator. Embrace the bitters and create the sweets. Gratitude for the generator. Gratitude for the in-betweens. Nah, means. Sheesh. It could be worse. It could be worse. The gift or the curse. Remember, all of our experiences are neutral. So what meaning will you give it? It is what it is now. So what you gonna do with it? What you gonna do? It's a little too salty. What can you do? Add a little water in that thing. Neutralize it. Add a little water, because it ain't always about necessarily adding sugar. All right? Sometimes shit just ain't sweet. Right? And you're like, no, this shit sucks. Fuck all that. It sucks. But what you can do is add some water to neutralize it. And that's when you're in the middle and you're like that positive neutrality where you're like, this shit sucks. But I know that it's a divine purpose for it, and ultimately it's happening for my highest good. And it just is. It's out of my control. So what the fuck I'm going to do now? Y'all know, to those of you who don't know, my car got towed. Totally 100% my fault. I had parked. There were two different lots. Typically I turn into the first lot, but for whatever reason, I passed that lot, went to the lot beside it, parked there, crossed over to the other side of the lot to scan the QR code to pay, thinking that even though there was a barrier, not thinking, right? Even though there was a barrier, I'm like, it's the same lot. Obviously not, Duüblè. So I paid my $31. I walked down the ocean front. It was a Neptune festival. Y'all know Neptune, Pisces energy, that represents a completion. that represents a completion here in a spiritual, like a spiritual wrap up, essentially. And this was the 50th anniversary here in Virginia Beach. Y'all know I was down there like, okay, because I went down there with intentions. Y'all know I be wearing my brass rings, like my necklace, my cowrie shells from my lovelies, a local, well, she's not a local vendor, a pop-up vendor from Atlanta. She's online based, Shop Kamawe, and they were here. So I pulled up on them. I rolled down there, and as I was walking, they made the announcement about the Neptune Festival, and I'm like, okay, Pisces completion, wrap up energy. Last time I wore this, well, I never wore this skirt before. Y'all like my skirt? I took a picture, but YouTube probably didn't see it. But I have this rope skirt that I freaking love, and it was handcrafted by another lovely. She's in Maryland though. And last time I wore her, I have another skirt. I have like a layered skirt that I wore from her. And the last time I wore that, which was the first time I wore it, that was back in August, the beginning of August. And I took it at the kiosk. I had on a hot pink top. I had on the layered skirt. I had on these same colors, but it was a different setup. And we were at the kiosk, and that's when the kiosk was looking very beautiful. Our kiosk was replenished. Obviously it didn't look like it was before the first things got stolen, the first theft. But I took that picture, and then, so today I got dressed, dressed on purpose as I always do. And this was my first time wearing this rope skirt. So it's like a full circle moment. I said all that to say. It was a full circle moment. So I'm like, okay. And so they said it was the 50th anniversary. I know that 5 represents change. It represents change, okay? Change of mind, all right? Change of communication as well, adapting, right? So I'm walking. I find the lady. I got some super cute, a super cute tribal dress. So freaking beautiful. And I got like some butters and things. And so I'm walking back to the parking spot, and I'm posting my pictures, right? On Instagram, and I get to the lot, and I look, and I'm like, wait, this is where my car was. And I'm like, okay, my car is gone. I'm like, all right, my car got towed. All right. So I calls them, and they're like, oh yeah, it's like 7:00 p.m. And they're like, oh yeah, we have your car, but the lot is closed until 8. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I get the address. I began walking down that way. And when I put in the GPS, when I put in the address, it said it was 3 minutes away. That 3 minutes was an ETA for driving. Okay, so I put in the walking ETA, and it said 15 minutes. Mind you, my bladder is half full now. I have to go to the bathroom. My feet are starting to hurt, and I'm like, but I was almost to the car, so I was like, cool, perfect. About to get in the car, about to take this 30-minute ride home, and then I'm gonna release and chill out. So I'm like, fuck. So I start walking. I'm taking my time because I can't even walk fast if I wanted to. And it reminded me of our lesson. Remember for our OG lovelies when I share with y'all like the lesson that my mom taught me when she's like, I know your shoes. Like when we be at church when I was younger, she'd be like, I know your feet hurt, but don't you take them damn shoes off. And I was like, oh, my toes hurt, but I am not taking these wedges off. I am not taking these hoes off, and I'm not going to rush, and I'm not going to rush, and I'm not going to complain either. So I'm walking, I'm taking my time, and I'm like, well, hell, let me go ahead and edit my video, right? Using the minutes, using multitasking, just doing what I can in the meantime. So I'm walking, and I'm like, whoo, I need a little seat, though. So there were like these little things that I was able to take a break on. And I'm like, and I was like, at the end of the day, I didn't pay attention. I can't be mad. I didn't pay attention to where I was parking, so it is what it is. And I was like, damn. And it was $220. And I'm like, damn, okay. That's $220 that could have went towards coconut waters and like, fruit and things like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm grateful. This is when I chose to add the sugar and see the sweetness and see what was there. And I was like, I'm grateful that I don't have to sweat about the money. I'm grateful that I'm not freaking out like, oh, where's the money? How do I get my car? Da, 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 da. The tow company is so far away. I didn't have to worry about those things. I was like, for that, I'm grateful. And I'll take this L, even though it's a big ass motherfucking pill, because though I had the $220, I'd rather not have paid it. And then, so I called Baba, and Baba was like, I'm about to send you the money. And I'm like, won't he do it? Because I wasn't expecting Lagasse to do that. You know, I was like, I'm going to take this L. My fault. And my man came through, and I was like, won't he do it? You know, and when I got, so it ended up taking me like, so I started walking at 7. Remember, it was a 15-minute walk, but at the pace I was walking, I ended up getting there, and I paused for like 5 minutes. So I got there at like 7:50, divine. I got there right when I needed to, because I was like an hour later. I was like, dang, that's a whole 60 minutes. Like, what I'm going to do? It's getting dark. I'm not by the beach anymore. So, but by the time I got there, it was, I had 10 minutes. And so I took my wedges off, and I stood in the grass, and I grounded, and I was like, I shade to that. And then these group of people came up. Their car also got towed, and they were freaking blowed. They were polar opposite of me, and they were just like, bullshit. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, and so that was that, you know, and so I said all that to say it was a lesson in that, and that's the message of the day, you know. Welcome into our lovelies, CrystalineMars.com for all your spiritual tools, gems, and jewels. I am your co-host, Mrs. Duüblè Jones, lady with the stones, to come here and leave us alone. Meet us here every night on live. Head over to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Crystaline Mars and vibe with us. But I gotta get into the message of the day, so that's why I had rushed and said that. But yeah, embrace the bitters. Like I said, embrace the bitters and create the sweets. Okay? It is what it is until it ain't. I did also channel some notes earlier, and I channeled, you're not stuck, you're just not choosing to move. Okay, you're choosing to go in the same loop that you're choosing to go in. Take that as it resonates, leave it as it doesn't. Leave what doesn't. And then I also channeled, you don't have to force evolution. I was in nature earlier. I had a spiritual clearing for our Nick baby boo. And I was in nature, and there was a leaf there beside me just sitting, and I'm, you know, holding the leaf, and I was just listening to, connecting with Mother Gaia before the actual appointment. And I was just thinking about how the leaves fall, you know, when the seasons change, and how, you know, the great Mother Gaia, she doesn't try to hold on to the tree. She's not like, oh, try to hold on to the leaves. She's not like, oh, these leaves, let me hold on to them. No, they just fall away. They just fall apart. They just, you know, fall off. Not fall apart, but they fall off. And I was thinking about our evolution, you know, and how we are constantly in a space of evolving, but it is our unconscious or conscious choices that stop our evolution. Our soul our soul wants to grow. Our soul wants to evolve, you know, to become whole, right? To reclaim all of the missing pieces, all of the daggered pieces. But it is the autopilot decisions. I was thinking about the unhealthy things that we do, the unhealthy things that we eat, the unhealthy things that we consume, the things that keep us binded to those timelines, to those lower vibrations, to those ways, you know. Rather it's eating. How I was just thinking about how autopilot we move, and that is how we block the evolution. But if you allow yourself, it takes a certain amount of self-awareness where you need to really, and when I say you, I mean we, including me, be so self-aware that we are literally observing and asking ourselves why we are doing everything that we are doing. We should literally be walking in purpose. The tow company, my car was $222 to get it out of the pen. And my life path number is 22. My name is Duüblè, right? And I'm like, walking in purpose, walk on purpose. You know, it's going to be uncomfortable. Your feet going to hurt. You're going to need to seek the light, follow the light in the darkness, in the midst of the storm, and add that little sugar, add that little water there so it can grow, so it can neutralize, so you can, you know, embrace and create in this. And so when it comes to our daily habits and the way we speak and the things we do, I call you forth to challenge yourself, to question yourself, like, why? Why am I about to eat this? Why? And if you want to, then I say. But I think it's very important that we begin to take accountability and responsibility over our life, and more importantly, over our health. Over our health. Okay? And whatever that looks like, obviously everybody's not going to be plant-based. Everybody is not going to be this one way. But the goal is to live a cleaner lifestyle, have a cleaner mind, have a cleaner body, because that affects your vibration ultimately. You could do as many meditations as you want. You could do as many releasing as you want, release rituals, work with the moon and all of that. But if you are turning around and doing the same thing, you're not really getting anywhere. You're just going in a freaking circle. You're going in a freaking circle. Cleaner environments too, all of it, internally and externally, because the external environment is a reflection of the internal environment. I was thinking about that as well. On my way to the Neptune Festival, and I was thinking about how peaceful my life is. I was thinking about how peaceful my life is, how peaceful my relationships are. And I was just like, I'm grateful. Like, life's good, even in the midst of the storm. And it's a peace of mind that I have. All right, but we have to reclaim those pieces. All right? And how you reclaim those pieces how you do that is you just be more self-aware, more self-accountable, and then you make those conscious choices after weighing the pros and the cons of the consequences that will follow. And the more you do that, the more stronger you become when it comes to saying no to certain things. The more disciplined you will become. Okay, the more you'll be able to just continue to navigate the spaces and let the bygones be bygones. I was thinking about that when I was on my way home after I got my car out the pen. And I was like, okay, I got my car, on to the next. Like, that's done. Okay, because I was like, dang, like, I did think like, damn, we are recouping our funds, and so 200 just kind of like went down the drain just to get the car out the pen. But at the end of the day, I was like, but it's already done. It's gone. Next. Like, I'm not about to dwell on that. We're going to multiply that. It's already done. Next. So I want you to also remind yourself, when you, like, these moments are just that. So don't drag it. It's already done. So what are you doing now? What are you about to do? Let's stay there and let bygones be bygones. It's already gone. It's already done. Ashe. And the war is won when you remember that you are one. All right. So that concludes the message of the day. And I'm going to go ahead and now move into the daily energy for, what's the date? The 29th. Ashe, y'all. Inevitable Truth said, 100, in times of emergency, we default to our habits. Being humble doesn't work as well as being aware. I was thinking about that too. I was like, yo, I've really matured my perspective when it comes to my experiences, because I was just thinking about how I handled that whole situation. Even when I accepted the fact that 200 was going to come out my pocket, I still took it like a champ. Like, all right, it is what it is. There's been things that have been coming my way for the past few months. Things that I've spoken to y'all about, things that I have not spoken to y'all about. And I've just been taking it like, Ashe. And when I say things just been moving along, I've been moving along, and I'm like, wow, it's amazing how we just hold on to things and let it shift our whole day, or shift our whole hour, or shift our whole experience, our whole vibe. You know what I mean? So that was pretty interesting. And that is the goal, to be able to master one's emotions, and ground one's emotions, even in the higher vibes. Okay. So let's go ahead and move to the daily energy. I do want to take a sip of my water really quick. Coach, welcome, babe. Are you new, babe? I see you in the chat. Thank you for being active, but you do not look familiar. Are you new? We welcome you nonetheless. Coach said we have, and you said your name is Coach Shayla Ma'at. Ashe. We have to be able to read the room and see when it's time to move around and adjust. For real, no fuss. Yep. Peace to y'all on YouTube. Somebody said I like your wig. Hey, baby, G-Wiz, if you'd like a personal reading, you can send the love offering in Cash App. Our Cash App is $JUSSBEYOU 247. You can also book a personal reading on CrystalineMars.com. We do have some lovelies in queue, though, so we may or may not be booked for the night. So let's go ahead and get into the daily energy for September 29th, y'all. I wanted to look back at that, too. I was like, hey, did the daily energy tell me that this is going to happen? Did the daily energy say that this is going to happen? But what's the day, y'all? So Sunday. So 9/29/2024 as of the 28th. That's that 10. That Leo energy. Sunday, Leo energy. The moon is in Virgo. All right, so this will be a great day to reflect on your goals for this upcoming month. Tomorrow is, we have one more day until, we're officially in the shadow period. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Yep, so on Sunday, we'll officially be in the shadow period for the new moon in Libra that is coming, that will peak on Wednesday. So with this being in the shadow period, this is a great time to go ahead and start working with it and start reflecting on certain things. So what are your goals for this upcoming month? Check in with your quarterly goals as well. See where you're standing. See what needs to be moved around. Strategy is going to be a big thing on this day. Do not allow for your don't allow for your flightiness or your emotions to just have you respond and reacting, moving without thinking. All right, pay attention to details. Hell, that came through early. That's what I should have did earlier. It's okay. Pay attention to details, okay, because there may be little things that turn into big things if you don't mind, okay? Strengths and weaknesses will also be highlighted on this day. From the sun energy, it's definitely going to be highlighting. This can come through just revelations. This could come through little errors or things that you say or do, and you see your own weaknesses or people point them out, as well as your strengths here. So don't take it personal. Take it on and ask yourself, how can I grow from this? How can I show up better? All right. Also, with this moon being in Virgo, that's also highlighting our health, mental health, physical health. Okay. This is Sunday, which represents, the ego, self, identity. So also be aware and mindful of what you're consuming that's feeding your ego, but not your soul. Okay. So crystals for the day are pyrite, citrine, and the colors are white, yellow, and green. Those are very, I was about to say very yellow. Those are very pretty colors. Able to make tonight. I don't think Baba's going to be able to make it tonight. But we shall see. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the collective tarot tea time with you and me time. If you'd like a personal reading, you can send your love offerings in. I'm going to do a roll call to see if any of our lovelies who have sent in readings are here with us right now. So I did get a love offering from Crystal earlier. So I'm going to write you down, Crystal. I did do Honey Ivy. I did do Carolyn. So Shrooms Lady, Gabriella, and Crystal, are you here? If so, raise your hand. If not, I guess you can't say nothing until later unless you run it back. But I believe Crystal's in here. And if she is, we have one opening for tonight. Honey, Lisa. Yep, we're full. Thank you, honey, for reminding me, Lisa. I got you, Lisa. Yep. So Lisa and Crystal. All right. So Lisa, you said Sunday. Damn, you're a day ahead of me. No, today is Saturday. It's Saturday where I'm at. I was tapping into the daily energy for Sunday. That was for tomorrow, so we can prime our minds. It's Saturday where I'm at. And you say I forgot you again. Like I forgot you another time. What you mean? Again. When was the first time I forgot you, babe? Kyla said, laugh out loud, come get me. Letting my son having a sleepover and I regret it. Ooh, that is ghetto. Lisa, I had 2 love offerings from Elisa. I had Elisa on PayPal and I had Elisa on Cash App. Which one were you? Thank you, Inevitable Truths. Crystal, what kind of reading would you like? And Lisa, what kind of reading would you like? You said I forgot you yesterday. I did not forget you, baby. I do 2 lives a night. I do 2 readings a night. So we were full last night by the time you sent yours. I already had people in queue. I ain't forget about you. Now tonight I did. Tonight I did, but not last night. You want love? Okay. So love for Crystal and Lisa. What kind you want? Lisa, what kind of reading you want, Lise? So let's see what we got for the collective. I'm pulling from the OG deck. Oh, shit. I want to start with Work Your Life, though, honestly. Let's see. How many kids at the house, Kyla? So I want y'all to take what resonates and leave what does not. Let's see what we got. What we got for the collective. You want 3 cards. Okay. Be very specific. Say, give me 3. I got you. It's all happening now. You go first. The universe will catch you. You go first. The universe will catch you. So this is interesting. This feels like something on top of what you just recently did. I know you're like, wait, I just jumped again. Okay. We have mature woman here. Ooh, I got the chills. So this mature woman, my eye energy here. Okay. So it's interesting because you may find yourself waiting until you are financially in a certain place, or emotionally in a certain place, mentally in a certain place, physically, spiritually in a certain place. And with this mature woman coming up, it's like, go ahead and do what you need to do with where you are right now. Stop making excuses and prolonging. We have sudden wealth here. June 11th may be significant. Life path number 6, life path number 11, but sudden wealth here. So the universe is like, come on, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You're literally delaying your blessings here. You're literally delaying this timeline shift, this timeline experience. It may feel a little overwhelming because you may have a lot already on your plate and you're just like, hold on, I'm trying to digest what I just bit, what I just, chewed up. Like I'm trying to, and it's like, okay, but just go ahead and get started. Like, go ahead and write the first sentence, get the pencils out, get the tools out, whatever it is. Like, go ahead and start setting that intention and start moving. We have main female here. So we have mature woman and we have main female here. So, yeah, so with all of this feminine energy that's showing up, it just feels like, okay, you're waiting, but there needs to be a duality here where you give, where you put in as well. Like, prime example, let's say I'm manifesting money and it's like, okay, Duüblè, but what are you doing to align with that? And it's like, okay, I'm creating jewelry. I'm reminding the lovelies that I offer services, I am creating new things to bring that can, to bring to the table that can generate more money for myself. Like, what are these things that you're doing? What are you doing to meet your manifestations, it feels like? Somebody is an Aries, Sun, Cancer, Moon, or Aries, Cancer relationship, something like that I'm seeing. We have pathway here. So the path has already been opened and I feel like you already have a feeling about what this is. Yeah, we have change here. Remember I talked about that 5 energy. We have that 5 energy here. Some of you are definitely being called to, it feels like a career shift or a shift at work or something, and you may be scared to leave. You may be scared to start new because maybe it's like a new arena, a new like job field or something like that, new location. And you may be a little scared of how it's going to turn out. But some of you are definitely tired of like working where you are. It's like it feels very mundane and it feels like you've reached a plateau. You've hit a plateau here. I see you. So we have new home, congratulations. New home, congratulations. And we have Basset here. Interesting. So new home, congratulations. Somebody may be thinking about getting a cat, or maybe you've been seeing cats. Or you have a cat, a black cat, gray cat, brown cat. But new home, congratulations, Basset. Moving state. We have cousin, family member. Can't get you out of my head. Okay, so interesting. So it feels like whatever this is that you're being called to do, it keeps you keep thinking about it, or the signs are getting louder here. But we have Basset here and we have cousin and family member here. So there may have been some wedge put in between you and a family member, and that was to protect you energetically and even spiritually or even emotionally here. Somebody was a manipulator, gaslighter, energy vampire, and it did you no good. We have funeral ending here. So today, so this ending, oh, we have 22 here. Yes. Yes. So today's energy adds up to 9. Today is a 9 day. So we have changes here, right? But then we have 22. Didn't I talk to y'all about, you know, the card being $220, life path, and things like that. So with this change and a 22 official person, this feels like a shift in your whatever it is that you're building or working towards. And it's not like a shift. It feels more like maybe a different approach here. We have the 29 here, the imprisonment card. Somebody's parent did time in jail, or they were just, somebody had like an emotionally unavailable mom, and you weren't able to go places. This is for somebody specific. You weren't able to go places. Like your mom was very restrictive, and even if it wasn't your mom, it just feels like this. It feels like you have grown comfortable in this space that you're in. You're comfortable in this little box. And it feels like you have been, the path has been, and it doesn't even feel, it showed that the path has been open, the door has been open, but for whatever reason, it's complacency or comfort. You're like, I'm going to stay here because I feel safe here. But you have the key to unlock yourself free. But with this rat here, this rat is sticking out as well. Somebody may, somebody's family is in like up north, New York, Jersey, or just north. It could be on the West Coast as well. Maybe Washington State, somewhere up there. But with this imprisonment and that rat, this also feels like with this family member and this funeral, there are some people, and it don't even have to be a family member. But there are some people who want to stay where they are. They want to stay where they are. And some of them even have like sneaky motives. I told you, like I picked up on that, the energy of you being protected. But we have the occupation here. And we have thoughts. So this is confirmation of you thinking about this shift. And this occupation does not have to be about your actual job. It could be whatever you're working on. And we have thoughts here. And so it feels like your intuition is definitely coming through with different downloads, different projects, different ideas for you to pursue. We have wealthy man here. So wealth is definitely showing up for you. And we have toil. We have toil and labor here. So it's like put in the work, put in the application, get your body moving. Like go ahead and get moving and you will reap that. Okay, we have mature man here. And we have message of concern. We have mature man, message of concern here. And so there is some, it feels like some battle of custody going on for somebody specific. But this is also somebody's father on the other side as well. With this message of concern and mature man. This could, message of concern, mature man, false person in house here. So you could have been under deception, and there could have been a divine intervention by this mature man in a spiritual realm here. I'm seeing a ancestor transition in the hospice. Somebody was in hospice. Somebody transitioned in hospice. Let's see what numbers we got. Okay, so we have 1212 here. Oh, happy day and ample opportunity related to your life's purpose is just around the corner. Definitely, this purpose is a highlight right now. Take immediate action once it pops up. 1212, that's 33, that's 6. Okay, that's that Christ consciousness. That's that transcendence energy. That is that master teacher energy. So it's time for you to now give yourself permission to fly. You see how this lovely here, like she's floating. 1212 and 1919 cycles. Karma will be paying you a visit. Release the need to control because you cannot force things. Learn your lessons so they don't repeat in the future. Make some space for new experiences. 1919, that's 1010. That is 2 here. That is 2. So that is speaking of the duality here. So there may be some things that you do have to accept about your life, about the fact that you're not, there may be some hard truths that you got to accept when it comes to like the fact that you may not, you know, have the relationship with your mom as you desire, or you may not have certain things or share certain things with certain people here. But this cycles, I told you there's like the change came out, and today is 9, and that represents that Pluto death and rebirth energy. And I told you about the Neptune festival that I went to, and that represents completion of cycles as well, like I spoke of. December 19th may be significant. January 4th. We have 6666. Great blessings. Nurture yourself, your needs, desires, and boundaries. Let go of the things that are weighing you down. Make space for something meaningful and expand your spirit to all areas of your life. That big love, opportunity, or job needs to squeeze in somewhere. So there's definitely a lot that's coming through for you, and it just feels like you just need to, a schedule may help. A schedule may help. Is the moon in, hey, yeah, the moon's in Virgo tomorrow. And, you know, Virgos are great at organizing and structure and planning and things like that. So there just may need to be a game plan that needs to be had. Okay, a game plan that needs to be created to help you, you know, navigate. You may literally need to write down your to-do list so you can hit everything. Just a little goes a long way, so you don't have to overwhelm yourself. And that's why it may feel so overwhelming, because there may be a few things that you already have to do and some more things that you want to do, and you're just like, I don't have space for it, I don't have time. And you do. You just need to split up your time, divvy up your time, so you can squeeze in some other things here. Okay, but it's just about your persistency, your consistency here. That's all you're being called to have. Consistency, be persistent, and be disciplined. Do it every day. A little bit goes a long way. And even there may be some things that you don't have to do every day. You may do, just do it. Just do it. Just get started here. Okay. So, let's see. You're Leo and Cancer, July 23rd. Ashe. Okay. All right, so we have miracles in motion. Sheesh, Luis. It feels like your hard work is being paid off. And I keep saying it feels, but the card is saying it. Miracles in motion, but Let's get moving. Let's get moving. It doesn't say miracles and stagnation. It doesn't say stuck miracles. It says miracles in motion. And did not talk about that. Get moving and meet the miracles. Meet the manifestations. Okay? And stop waiting here. And that's card number 42. This 6 keeps showing up. How many 6s did we see in this reading? And that's Ma'at's energy. This is card number 42, the 42 laws of Ma'at. Some of you may want to look into and read the 42 laws of Ma'at. Do your studies, connect with Ma'at when it comes to balancing. All right? But it's like the balls. Like, you may feel like a clown. You may feel foolish because you're like, oh, Lord, this is too much. I'm scared to drop. I'm scared to fall. And the universe like, I'm about to throw another ball. You just keep doing what you're doing. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just keep your momentum going. And when the next ball get thrown in, you're going to keep, it's going to flow. It's going to flow. And I want to read this motions card, and then we're going to close out. We have unapologetic, and we have limitless prosperity. And I hit repeat. I didn't mean to hit that, but okay. So I want to read what this card has to say for card number 42, Mother God, Miracles in Motion. And then I'm going to get into personal readings. All right. So 42, you are the architect of your own experience. You are the architect of your own existence when you tap into the wisdom of the great mother that you have within. Heaven and the earth are connected through you, but you still doubt yourself. Believe in you now. Birthing miracles is easy for you. Trust your inner voice. You are being divinely guided and are much wiser than you think. Be easy and deliberate as you move forward, but do move forward. Okay? Balance your yin energy to bring the healing you require. So, you know, and the declaration for this card is all things are possible. So your belief is definitely, it's like, are you going to take that bet on you? Are you going to take that bet on you? And it's easy to be happy for everybody else and to see things happen for everybody else. But then when it comes to us, we're like, oh, I'm not a part of that. You know, it's not going to work for me. And I need you to shift that narrative that you have here. Ashe. And so Storm said, don't do people wrong and expect a happy life. I just wanted to tell you my download I received today. No, facts. Facts. Because that energy, one way or another, will eat at you. That energy will come back to you and flow through you. All that you do. All that you do. And that's what my aunt's here to remind us, like karma. Karma doesn't miss a beat. It doesn't. Everything that you put out will come. Okay? And sometimes it's going to hit you when you least expect it. All right? So that concludes today's collective read. I hope you got what you needed. If you'd like a little more, you can book a personal reading on CrystallineMars.com. And I'm now going to get into Crystal's reading. Crystal wanted a love reading here. And I'm feeling work your light today. So let's see what we got. Oh, okay. So we have no here, Crystal. We have no here. Take that as it resonates. How long are your live clearings? So they average around between 3. Good question, because I never really timed them. Let's see. Oh, you said the live clearings. My bad. But the live clearings, those vary too. It depends on how much you send, because it's an energy exchange. But they're typically around like 5-10 minutes. You said I know exactly what no pertains to. Okay, good. Good. And we have take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So it feels like a no, not right now. Or a no, slow down. Maybe you're moving entirely too fast. Or you're like ahead of yourself and it's like, no. Because this no is like postpone. It feels like postpone-ish, honestly. Okay. Let's see more. And I'm getting respect others' boundaries as well. Somebody may come to you and say no to you for whatever reason, and respect that. Like, don't get in your feelings and get mad because they don't want to, whatever that is. You said, I wish you would price readings. So on the website, because I offer a plethora of services, so before the 30-minute tarot readings is $30. For an hour, it's $60. Seek a mentor here. Seek a mentor. So you might just need to get some advice or another perspective about something. You know, you can book a consultation with me. Or you can even ask. You can ask questions up here too, and I'll do my best to answer them. We have set firm boundaries here. I just was talking about the boundaries here. So, yeah. It's interesting because it just feels like, I don't know if you want to give somebody a part of you or share something with somebody, and it just feels like that's not for them right now. It's for you more so. It's like it's something that's like for you, not for them, it feels like. And maybe you need more insight, clarity, or like another perspective. You say, yes, I need to set firm boundaries. I struggle with that. We have breath work here. And we have car troubles. So I do see there is some energy that is clogged up in your heart chakra here. So there is some breath work, breathing into that heart chakra, breathing a bright green ball in your inhale and exhale. As you exhale, visualize that ball expanding here. Yeah, there's something that is on your mind heavy, and I need you to release that weight. I'm now starting to feel like pressure in my crown, and I want to take my head wrap down. So, yeah, I need you to ease your mind. Ease your mind when it comes to this thing. We have exercise more. So, yeah, you need to work your chakras. Rotate your chakras. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Yeah, divine feminine. So that's why they're saying no, postpone, because this is more to the story, like I said, and that's why Seek a Mentor came out, because there's more information that you need to receive here in regards to whatever it is that you're inquiring or desiring. Spend time with ancestors. So your ancestors are calling you. Your ancestors are calling you. We have Libra and Gemini. Yes. Yes. Because it feels like you're all over the place when it comes to what you want, it feels like. It's like 1 minute you're here, 1 minute you're there, and it's like you just need to get clear. It feels like you're not, like, what you desire is not fortified in anything stable. So you might need to like do some shadow work and like ask yourself those deep questions. Ask yourself those deep questions, like, why do I want this? What do I really want? Because it just feels like you're all over the place when it comes to desires. And it's like you're sending the universe mixed signals. Like, they're trying to make your order, and you're like, oh, wait, I don't want ketchup. Or actually, I do, and extra mayonnaise too. Oh, but hold on. And they're like, what do you want? That's what it feels like. Like, what do you want? What do you want? And they're not rushing you, but they just want you to be clear when it comes to making your order, when it comes to placing your order. So you can be satisfied, because you've already been manifesting things, and it's like, not quite, it's missing something. And they're like, I'm giving you what you asked for. You said you wanted these things, and that's what you got. And now you're saying, no thanks. Okay, so let's think about, like, what do you really want to consume? What do you really want to eat? What do you really have a taste for? Okay. And with this taste for, that's the damn problem now, it feels like. You know, you're like, well, I got a taste for this. And then later, after you get that order, you're like, well, now I want Taco Bell, or now I want Cane's, I want chicken tenders, or now I want, and it's like, okay. Okay. So now let's go to, what do you need? What do you need? All right. What do you need to feel fulfilled, to feel whole? Okay. What do you need from your partner? You know, what do you need? And we have needs. It's okay to need. So give yourself permission to need, and you will receive that. So let's get clear on that. And that concludes your message, baby. So I started your reading at 10:02 and it's 10:08. So that gave me a time frame of about how long they take. Okay, baby. So now it's up for Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa said, I want 3 cards. So I'm going to pull out the tarot for you. Let me see if Baba texts me back. Where you at? Let me see if he's here. Did he come? I don't remember seeing him. Hold on, y'all. Ah, stepping on my skirt. No, he's not here yet. All right, Lisa. Let me take a drink. Blessed. This is valid. Valid like salad. Thank you, God, she is, and honey for covering the comments. All right. Depending on what Brother Lagasse responds, I might have space for more readings if he wants me to stall. Because he said he's going to make it tonight, but he's not here yet. So I'm waiting for him to text me back now and let me know if he wants me to stall or not. Do anybody want a reading here? Remember, it's $15 minimum, so I'm not asking, do anybody want a free reading? I love donation reading. Okay, give me 3. Thank you. Ooh. So we have the Fool here. This feels like that leap energy that I picked up for the collective, but let's see. The Fool. Wow, so that's the starting of a new... The Hermit. This is major shift. And you got the 2 of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. Wow. Wow. So, you have some decisions to make. You have some decisions to make when it comes to this leap. It feels like you're in this space where you're comfortable, but you want to expand. You want more. But it's like you're you're not quick to jump, which is cool. It feels like you've been thinking, weighing, your pros and your cons and thinking like, okay, if I go left, what's there? What's the possibilities? Okay, if I go right, what are the possibilities there? But it's time for you to make a decision with this Fool. It's time for you to go ahead and jump and trust your intuition here. Trust that the net is there. Because she's holding this amethyst crystal here. Not sure if you have amethyst, but connecting with your amethyst as well as your lapis lazuli is going to be a good tool. And it does feel like you need to allow yourself to it's okay to not be okay. And it feels like with this Hermit, you're isolating yourself. And isolation is sometimes necessary, and I'm not encouraging you to tell everybody your business, but it does feel like you do need to allow yourself to vent and express and connect with at least one person who you trust when it comes to what you're feeling and what you're dealing with. Because I just see you holding it all in and you're just trying to do your best to balance your scales and stay balanced. And it's like, okay, but the human interaction though, the community or the friend or the family member, it does feel like you need to allow another being, another perspective into your life to help shed some light here. We have the Empress here because you've been very intentional when it comes to, what you've been working on, what you've been consuming, your intentions and things like that. But it feels like a single parent with this Empress. It feels like the single parent where you're like, okay, I got this. It's like you're trying to be the strong one when you really need a little help. or you really, yeah, you need a help, or you need a listening ear, but you're robbing yourself from that opportunity because it's like you'd rather not. Because you don't, it's like you feel comfortable with being alone. Though you sometimes like, okay, it'll be nice if I had somebody over, or it'll be nice if but overall, you like being by yourself. And so you have this mindset where you're like, and you've been by yourself for a while, it feels like you've been, or at least you've been keeping a lot of things to yourself for a while, and you've grown so comfortable with that you don't really see the importance, or you forgot about the importance of relationships here, and how healing and how insightful that can be for you. And you're like, with this Empress, you're like, oh, I could take care of the baby by myself. I don't need child support. I don't need support. I don't need a babysitter. I don't need a maid. I don't need help. I could just do it. And it's really overwhelming. You said I lost my 2 sons 11 months apart. Oh, my condolences. My condolences. My condolences here. But that makes sense because the Hermit is the isolation and we have the Empress here. So, yeah, I do feel like, open, and you can start with just opening up your heart. Opening up your heart and opening up your mind to this mentor, this support, this friend, this family member, this love to come through for you, because it doesn't feel healthy. It doesn't feel healthy. It's not conducive to your growth. It's not conducive to your growth. And so that's what I got for you, love. So the moment you choose to jump, things will continue. Things will move for you. But I need you to, and it doesn't feel like you necessarily need to go outside. It feels like you need to let people inside. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like you need to go outside, find things to do, and find like-minded people. It doesn't feel like that. It's like, who can you call? Who can you reach out to? Who can you call over? Or you might want to go to a friend's house or whatever, family members, whatever. So that's more so what it feels like. Lisa said, I only have half a heart now. I'm not willing to share the other half. Thank you so much. Okay, Ashe, and I understand that. And whenever you are ready, because I can't imagine what that feels like. And I'm not going to sit here and say I can, and so even if that is inviting in, connecting with your sons in spirit. I don't know if you do that, but, call them forth to share space with you, to comfort you. I'm not sure at what age they were, but, if they can come through with any memories, guide you to any pictures, like help lighten your spirit. You can use that as a tool as well until you're ready, if you are ever ready. Okay? So that's what I got for you, babe. And I send you love. I send you love. So, Brother Lagat said he'll be 15 minutes. So I'll do, hey, I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling generous. And I will accept, I'll do some birthday reads. I'll do some love birthday reads. You don't have to send a love offering in. And I'll just do as many as I can. If you want a birthday read, you could drop your birthdays down and I'll tell you a little bit about yourself, free at charge. Don't say I ain't never do nothing for y'all. I am not pulling cards, okay? I am only doing a brief birthday read. So drop your month, date, and year, and I will tell you a little bit about you. I'll pick up from your numerology. All right, we got 1109. Look at y'all. Okay, so 1109. Interesting. So you are very misunderstood. Either people love you or they hate your freaking guts. Very spiritual, very intuitive here. You're able to see things that people don't see. You're able to see people's heart. You're very discerning. You're very discerning. You hear a lie, you smell a lie, you see a snake, you feel a snake. But also, you can be either very, very happy, positive, joyful, or depressed. Okay. You have an addictive nature as well. So it's hard for you to let things go. It's like you hold things with a grip, whether it's a person, place, thing. You definitely have a hard time with letting go of things and accepting change. You like for things to be predictable. You like to know what's going to happen ahead of time. And so when you don't, you definitely external chaos will definitely affect you internally. Also, you may find that you attract a lot of like people who just want to have sex with you, or who are just attracted to your body, or who just wants to exchange sexual energy with you. You may enjoy sex as well, even at your own detriment, like having sexual connections with people just because it feels good, because it fills a void for you. So that's a danger zone. That's a space that you have to be very mindful of, with exchanging the sexual energy here. But when used on purpose, your sexual energy can definitely help you with manifesting your visions and your desires. So use it on purpose if you are going to use it. Okay, blessed. Keisha, you are also a 9, 3, 9. So it's interesting because you have a lot of, you're very intuitive as well. Very, very intuitive, very optimistic though. It's like in the midst of your storms, you see the rainbow, you see the sunshine, you know that it won't last forever. You attract a lot of people, good, light, dark, bad. You like to travel as well. You don't like feeling boxed in or controlled. And it's interesting because you're open to change. You are open to change, but it just can't be too drastic. It just can't be too drastic. It's interesting because you like to expand, but it's like only at your level of comfort though. Only at your level of comfort. And you love like I don't want to say weird people, but like the mystery. You love people who are like multi-layered and hard to read, because it gets your mental juices flowing, and it spikes up this this inquisitiveness in you when it comes to getting to know people. But with getting to know people, it's like you welcome people, but you're also very guarded as well. Like you're very particular on what aspects you allow people to access. And, you have no problem with cutting a person off either. You have no problem with cutting a person off. And you'll cut them off before they even get cut on. Like you're very discerning, and you don't have a problem with making those decisions when you pick up on it. Like nobody can tell you that like the sky is green. You're like, no, I know it's blue. I don't care. Like I know what it is. Because you're so intuitive, and you're able to tap in, and you're able to see through what other people can't. And so that's one of your superpowers. NYC. Let me come over here on TikTok. I mean on YouTube. Oh, we got some on TikTok too. Okay, so I'm gonna do let me come on TikTok because I am showing TikTok love. TikTok 7/7/1996. So with that 7/7, you're very sensitive to other people's energy, very giving, very loving. More introverted. You're like the one that's in the cut who don't have too much to say. But you're very loving. Like a lot of people love you. A lot of people are attracted to you here. Very spiritual as well. Very in tune. Very wise. Okay, you may find that you're around you may have grown up around like a lot of older people, or you were like the younger one, but you were like the more mature one here. So you're you have a lot of wisdom here. That you give, like you're beyond your years for sure. Sometimes you can try to escape reality when it gets a little too heavy, when it gets a little too overwhelming, and you may just, try to avoid and escape in whatever ways. So that is something to look out for. Unicorn 2-5. You're great with communication. Um, you like for things to stay fresh, and the spontaneity of things here. Also very giving, very kind, but sometimes you talk a little too much. Sometimes you give a little too much more information than what was required, what was even asked. Like you give your opinion when it's like you give unsolicited advice, and sometimes that backfires on you because you come from a good place with good intentions, but it's like sometimes you give people what they're not even ready for, what they didn't ask for, and so it's a struggle when it comes to you, because then when you do that, you put yourself in a space where, like, damn, do I shut up? Do I talk? Like, when do I talk? And you get frustrated because balancing that throat chakra is a challenge for you. And then when it's time for you to speak up, you don't. So it's like you're very backwards. You have like a backwards approach when it comes to communicating. Like, when you need to shut up, you don't. When you need to speak, you shut up. It's like you're very backwards. So balancing your throat chakra and giving yourself permission to communicate, and improving that is going to be a journey for you in this life. Thank you for your rose. NY Debs here. Ashe Honey said you're so on point. Ashe. NY Debs, you are 31062. Great leader. Great leader. People love to come to you when it comes to your advice, when it comes to your protection as well. People feel safe in your presence. You may find that like you attract a lot of people who are timid, who are scared to speak up, and you have no problem with protecting and covering those. You're very loyal as well, well respected, honored, and you bring like an energy to you that stretches people. You hold people accountable, and you also challenge them to see themselves, to rise, and to be better. You don't accept excuses. Like you call a spade, and it's like you don't fall pity to people's stories. It's like you call them out. You have no problem with speaking and communicating. You're very confident in yourself as well. Very confident when it comes to challenges. You push through them. You persevere as well. Very attractive energy here. March 11, very powerful energy. Very powerful energy. March 11, you have a lot of things that, like a lot of ideas, a lot of different ideas. And sometimes it may be overwhelming because you're like, I want to do it all. But one thing that will work, that will help you, honey, sweetie, is dictating and like sharing your vision and letting other people like birth the baby, but let other people like adopt the baby. So that could look like, you giving a person an idea like, hey, because you have the ability to see people's like potential. And so you're like a door opener, like, hey, you would do really great at sewing, right? And your problem is, though, you'll see the vision, and then you'll feel like you have to birth the baby. Like, you'll do great with sewing. So yeah, like, okay, now let's go to Joann's and let's get this, or I'm going to get this and I'm going to help you sew. And it's like, no, you just need to plant the seed. You just need to plant the seed and show them that vision for themselves and let them go and take with that. And, you can help them, advise them, or give them more vision and things like that, but you do not have to carry every baby through here. But you two are a very powerful leader, very influential if you allow yourself to be. But you like to be in the background, though. It's like you don't like to take on that power that you have, because you're pretty, like, you don't care about those things. You don't care about those things. But when you do allow yourself to step into that leadership position and lead those around you, you can definitely shift things in a positive way or a negative way, because your energy is that influential. Who else we have over here? 225. Okay, so you have a lot of different personalities. Literally, like, you like to change your clothes a lot. You're very diverse when it comes to music, when it comes to your style of clothing, and just, you're very diverse. You're very diverse and adaptable as well. social butterfly, life of the party. You love talking, love laughing, and very giving as well. Very blunt. You do not sugarcoat. You do not sugarcoat. And sometimes, you know, that people don't know how to take that, because you call it what it is. You call it what it is. And and sometimes that it's not well received by those around you. But you just don't like to sugarcoat or lie. You're very truthful and honest. You're very truthful and honest. And so it's like, if somebody asks you, like, hey, you think this dress is ugly, you're gonna say, yeah, if you do, you know. And you can't hide it. Like, every time you try to lie, it's like you can't hold it. You can't hold it. Okay, we have 9-10 here. So with that 9-10, so it's interesting, because it's like you're very good at leading, at organizing. It's interesting because you're able to help everybody else. It's like you're that person who has the best advice for everybody, but then when it comes to taking it on for yourself, you can't take none of it. It's like you have brain farts. It's hard for you to make decisions for yourself, but you can help everybody else. Okay, and you struggle with putting yourself, I wouldn't even say putting yourself first, but adding yourself to the equation. You're very selfless. You have a very healing energy as well. So you're always looking for ways to how you can show up for everybody else, how you can heal them, how you can, be an asset in their life, and you neglect yourself as well in the meantime. So it's important that you add yourself to all that you do, and make sure you fill your cup as well, so it can overflow. But you definitely don't mind giving from an empty cup. And I do feel like in this present moment, you need to replenish yourself, because my mouth just got mad dry as I was tapping to your energy. I say, y'all. Who else we got over here on YouTube? And my Deb said, amazing and right on. I will help all willing to be helped. Ashe. Honey said, oh my God, that's funny. A part of my job is teaching how to sew ribbons and skirts. And I'm talking about you. That's funny how I tapped into that. Ashe. Divine. Okay, so we have no more birthdays on YouTube. Asali Baba just walked in. No more birthdays on TikTok. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in, loves, and thanks for your roses. Okay, birthdays over here. So we have Andrea with the 319. So interesting, Andrea. You are very prideful. And sometimes it's hard for you to ask for help, because you like to suffer in silence and just try to figure it out by yourself. And that you make things harder on yourself. When it doesn't have to be. But it's also like you're very confident in yourself too. So you believe, and a lot of times you are able to carry things out, and whatever you touch turns to gold. Like, you have this very powerful, transformative energy to you. Like, when you enter a person's life, like, they will never be the same after they talk to you, after they connect with you, after they have sex with you. Like, you shift people's timelines, you shift people's lives. And you know that about yourself as well. Your tongue is very powerful. What you speak, you see. Very intuitive as well. Very attractive. You get a lot of attention. Sometimes it's not the best attention with people who have good intentions, but you're pretty much good at deciphering when a person, wants you for what you have or what they can get, right? But you two are also a very, you're a good leader. You're a good leader here. Honey Ivy 821. So, Honey Ivy, you love hearing other people's perspectives. You're very nurturing, very loving. You're a big relationship person. You will literally give the heart out of your own chest, like literally. Very selfless. but you can be very selfish as well. So it just depends. It depends, because when you see that you are taken advantage of, when you're taken for granted, you will literally leave a person in the cold without thinking about it. And it will hurt you, but you will, if you had to choose between you and them, and they showed you that they chose them, you're definitely going to choose yourself. You're definitely going to choose yourself without a problem, because you gave them what you had and they didn't want it. So it's like you'll take it and be like, you know what? I'll take this for me and give it to somebody who actually does appreciate it. I say Keisha. Okay, blah. So interesting. With you have a problem with allowing help to come in, and also you challenge authority. You want it your way. It's literally, you're very extreme when it comes to cooperation. Like you're not cooperative at all. You are not cooperative at all. Like on the job, in your relationships, you will definitely give people a hard time because it's just in your nature. You ready? Okay. Because it's just in your nature. So I would recommend that you blah blah. Be more mindful of that and check yourself when you find yourself being stuck in your ways and being stubborn and argumentative. Everything don't need to be said. And you have that Gemini energy as well. Everything does not need to be said, because you think it, you talk it, and sometimes you kick your own self in the what's saying, you put your own foot in your mouth or something like that. So remember, if you got to go talk it out to yourself, or write it down on a piece of paper, I need you to do that. But everything does not need to be said, and allow for yourself to receive help as well. You don't have all the answers, and you don't have to figure it all out by yourself either. You are literally boxing yourself in and stunting your growth by just trying to do it all and not allowing in help. Okay, so Brother Lagasse has entered the room, and that concludes the readings of the day. That was pretty dope. You said so on point. The way you just read me by seeing numbers, you don't even know my sun, moon, and rising. Ashe. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it around, and we're gonna get into the spiritual lesson. All right. Ashe, Lucy Feeney. By the way, I'm starting to get into tarot cards. Any tips? Pull one card a day, and then look for how it manifests in your reality throughout that day. A little goes a long way. One card a day. All right, y'all. I wish I could have got to everybody, but I did what I could. Y'all can always book a reading with me, a birth chart reading. I use the numerology, sort of kind of how I did with the other elements as well. But we're going to go ahead and carry on with the show. Flip your camera. All right, babies. My ear just started ringing. Flip camera. All right. Oh, the J isn't lit up. Hold on. All right, there we go. Let me close this. All right, the camera's on you.
Peace, family.
Grace.
Today's spiritual lesson is on spiritual awareness. So I'm just going to share a quick story or conversation that I had with my father today, as we were talking about different things. And at a certain point, he brought up how they had just moved into a house, in the area. My mom and my dad, and this was like a few months ago. So when they moved in, my dad asked me to do a cleansing of the house, right? So I did a spiritual cleansing of the house, right? Using my Palo Santo, using my sage, using my chants and whatnot, right? And there were certain areas where I felt more like concentrated energy, and there was a certain room where I felt a lot of energy in it, right? And I just put more focus into like removing that energy and cleansing that space, right? So, and I told him like, yeah, everything should be pretty straight now. There was one room though that was kind of like intense, but besides that, everything was cool. So that was months ago. Now today we were talking, and at a certain point he had brought it back up about that particular room because he was telling me that they had been in the house for maybe a couple weeks before I actually did the cleansing. And he said before I did the cleansing of the house, he noticed that the cats would never go in that one room that I said had like this extra energy to it. He said they would never go. They would always get close. They would look around and stuff, but then they wouldn't stay, right? As he started saying that, I started thinking about the room, and then in my head, I just saw like fire all throughout that room, and I was like, okay, yeah, see, that makes sense. And I said because that room is kind of like it was like a hell realm, like it had like this hell fire type of energy to it. It's like, it doesn't have that now, but it did at that time, right? I didn't know it at that time what it was, because I didn't necessarily try to see what it was. But for whatever reason, when I thought about it today, when I was talking about the room, that's the image that came to me. I saw it clear as day, and I just knew that's what it was, and I just didn't second guess it and just went with it. And then he said, well, that's interesting you would say that, because he said, my dad was also having issues in that same room as well before I cleansed it. He said that he was trying to play, it's a video game room. It's like an extra room, right? So it's a video game room. But he said when he first put the video game in there, he couldn't stay in there longer than like 10 or 15 minutes because he would just feel hot, he would get headache, he would get nauseous, and it was just like this intense heat that would just build up from being in there. And he said I would have to step out. And eventually he said he just stopped going in, and he took the whole game system out of there. But ever since I had to do the cleansing, now he can play in there and he's fine, right? So I said to say and understand how important spiritual awareness is, and how sometimes you're more spiritually aware than you realize, right? As far as feeling things in certain rooms, certain places, and or certain people, right? As well as it's important for us, as I was telling my dad, I don't practice, putting any type of energy on people. I don't practice casting spells or anything like that onto people, casting energy onto people or onto things or whatever, right? But I do practice, breaking those things. I do practice, breaking those things, right? In a sense, practicing miracles, right? I'm into practicing miracles, not into necessarily practicing casting, right? The same thing like Moses had done miracles, Jesus practiced miracles, and other beings have practiced miracles. As we are meant to practice miracles, as Jesus says, to do what is called what's the word that he used? To do, he didn't say miracles necessarily, but to do, I don't know, great things, just as great as me, or even greater, right? Whatever the words that he used, right? So, but also understand that, first off, you gotta practice, spiritual awareness, grow your spiritual awareness, trust your spiritual awareness. And as well, though, you have to learn how to utilize or activate or practice or perform those miracles. How to perform those miracles, right? Ashe. And usually those miracles have to do with overcoming a problem enlightening others, right? Or helping other people, like taking the loaves of bread and the fish and feeding the village. Ashe. But even in that aspect, understand that Jesus, as you know, you can call him God all you want to, and the Lord Savior, and blah blah blah. Jesus still had to go to Egypt, he still had to go to Kemet to learn how to perform the miracles, to learn how to perform the alchemy. You cannot forget that. He didn't just, it's not a story where he just woke up one day and now he can just walk on water, right? He wasn't a baby, baby Jesus, talking to the goats and the chickens and stuff, in the stable. No, right? He was a regular being, regular human in a sense, right? And had to learn how to activate his own Christ consciousness, as we are all here trying to, well, not all, but as a certain number of us are trying to do. Unless you're a bot, which tends to be most people. Ashe, so now that's a spiritual lesson, so we're going to Q&A and the spiritual clearings. Ashe.
Ashe. Griffey said chat finna be jumping. Actually, YouTube, I don't know what the YouTube lovelies at today. They was pretty quiet. They weren't really deep today either, like they have been in the past. We've been averaging about like 60 views on YouTube, but it's been like 20 average tonight. So we might be chill. Uh-oh. Oh, the moon. All right. Oh, y'all real low. Thanks, Mom. I'm glad I got to wear it before this the weather shifted because I didn't get to wear the skirt yet. But today felt like a summer day. So I took advantage of it. Okay. You doing Q&A, brother? Yeah, YouTube been on their best behavior today. Peace, Guave. YouTube ain't say nothing. That was it. They ain't been in the building today. They're pretty quiet.
Okay, so they must have been feeling y'all been feeling the Jesus vibes. I was talking about the Lord, and y'all was like, okay, I can't say nothing against that, so I shed to that.
You're so crazy.
Blue Water said Christ always had a Christ consciousness, mind, my spelling. Good story, bro. Thanks, Ashe, Blue Water. But he wasn't always doing miracles, I'll tell you that. Peace to TikTok, to all those dropping the gifts and the roses. We appreciate them all. Peace, Guave. Shade the Honey Ivy YouTube chat finna be jumping off this lesson. The YouTube is chilling. YouTube is chilling. I guess it's, maybe it's the, it's the Sabbath, you know, the Catholic Sabbath, right? Lucy Feeney, how do you get enough protein during a fruit fast? What have you guys learned from life and living well? How do you get enough protein during a fruit fast? Well, when people are not fasting, people don't think about getting protein. So that tells you how not as important as you think protein is. But you can get protein from beans, right? You can get protein from nuts. But then you're doing a fruit fast, so. But if you're doing a fruit fast and you're just doing fruit, I mean, you're not going to get. There's no protein fruits that I know of, so you're just not going to get, the protein. It's not going to hurt you, depending on how long you do it for, right? I mean, you can go quite a many weeks without protein and be fine. But I'll say, just eventually though, when you're done off the fruit fast, you get your protein in, right? You can get your protein in, right? Let's say if you're getting your protein sources from, let's say if you're getting it from meat, right? Which is fine to an extent, depending on the type of meat and depending on, also depending on your like ethnicity as well, right? Well, it takes your body about 3 days to digest meat and get the protein from it anyway, so you don't need to. You could just eat that every, take the fast for 3 days, and on the fourth day, eat your meat and get your protein in. So, that's perfectly fine. Lucy Phoenix says, "What have you guys learned from life and living well?" I mean, that's a very super broad, question, Lucy. You're good at doing with those type of questions. I learned from life and living well, I've learned that that life is a multi-layered and multi-dimensional experience. It's not just there's not just one layer to it. Right, that's what I would say that I've learned. We'll see what Duüblè says.
I'd say I've learned that I feel like it's kind of cliche, but there's always, and it kind of goes into what you said though, but there's always more to be discovered about something. So as soon as you think that you've hit your peak or your climax in an area and you've mastered something or you have it all together, that is an illusion. And there's more. There's always more. There's always more to do. There's always something to do. It's never. You're not. Your work is gonna. Your work is eternal. I'll say that. That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Women tend to think that. Y'all tend to think that things stop.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that as a woman she would.
I learned that.
She learned that there's always a new level. It's like men I already understand that. That's why we play video games. Play video games to get to the new level.
No.
Play sports to get to the new level.
We're like, when is it over?
Right? Women are like, oh, I'm there.
Yeah.
Because women, y'all see things as y'all see yourselves as the top level, as the level. Right? That's why all women are 10s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is the level. There are no other numbers, right? It's Fanny. How do you forgive yourself? I was walking my dog without the leash because she likes it. And she saw a squirrel and got hit by a car, and I'm having trouble forgiving myself because I was irresponsible. I feel responsible for her death.
Oh man, she transitioned.
Shame. Let's see.
Oh, I remember she was on the live too. You talking about the dog that be on the live with you?
How do you forgive yourself? Well, one thing that takes time with something like that. Two, I would say that breaking some spiritual contracts will help. Doing some rituals for the dog to help the dog to transition, to help her transition also will assist you in your, forgiveness by helping to allow her to move forward. That allows you to move forward, right? So those are some ways that can, start that process. As well as, and then what else is going to help the process over time is becoming more responsible. Becoming more responsible. By doing that her death, won't happen in vain, won't be in vain if you actually improve from now on and use that reference points to always remember not to do this or not to be, irresponsible in certain ways, right? Guave says, okay, Lucy said, thank you. It's helpful. Ashe. Guave says, avocado, a fruit, technically, right? That may be the only one. Avocado is a fruit. I don't know what the protein source with avocado, but it definitely has a high fat source in it, and as well as a high fiber source, right? Not so sure about the protein. See how you guys feeling?
I am well.
Feeling focused, I would say. Feeling like there's another word I want to use that's more accurate than focused.
You make me think, because that's why I am well. What I feel.
I feel driven. There you go. That's a more accurate description of how I feel. Driven. Son Prince, how do I get a reading? You can go to crystalinemars.com and book a reading. Or just catch. What do you do? The $15 minimums, you say?
Yeah, I do 2 lives a night.
Or huh? You
do
2 lives. Or
I'm in 2 readings at night.
Or you can get the readings done on the lives with a $15 love offering minimum with Duüblè. You can also do it that way as well. So you can catch it tomorrow, right? Graffiti, what are some things that we should be spiritually aware of on a daily basis in people and foods and information, conversations, and happenings? I'll let Duüblè answer that one first.
Oh, thank you for giving me the honors.
Well,
some things...
they be asking me saying I be talking too much. So.
Some things that we should be spiritually aware of on a daily basis. So I would say be aware of the mind. Be aware of the mind, because that is where a lot of the spiritual influences show up. and it can affect our decision making and things like that. So the mind, and what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Is it aligned with that of which you are attempting to achieve? Um, and that will trickle down when it comes to the people you connect with, the foods you consume, the information you consume. That's my answer.
Uh, uh, um, uh, you should be aware of the energy shifts that you feel. So when you emotionally shift, you should be aware of that. Um, when you when you shift and feeling different things in your body, you should be aware of that, right? Especially when like there's like certain feelings that you feel on your body, like on a regular, like they usually represent some sort of like spiritual attachment, some type of latching on from some type of siphoning, spirit, right? You should be paying attention to stay aware of how other people, how their emotions shift or how their minds shift, right? At random times or seemingly random. You'd be paying attention to how different rooms feel that you walk into or how they make you feel, or when you start to have certain maybe positive feelings or negative feelings or just intense feelings, right? You should be aware of how people are speaking to you. Are they just speaking like normal, or do they seem to um, be speaking to you like they're not their normal selves, and there's like something else within them speaking to you, or it's like there's like a little sneaky being that's speaking to you through them, and it's like saying little sneak sly stuff to you, and then like they go back to normal a second later, right? Those are things that you want to be aware of, is like all these little shifts and little experiences that have flashed through, or these like small different feelings in temperature, or body aches or pains or heavinesses, or breathing challenges or whatever, or just shifts in your own um, what you call it, your own emotions, or animals moving around you, or birds making noises or clustering together, or like just things, or like seeing different like shapes that are like seem weird around you, or seeing like different like faces in like the patterns of the rug, or patterns of your clothes, or trees. These are things that you want to stay spiritually aware of, right?
Okay.
Honey Ivy, I remember you were helping someone move a while back. Is that the house? Just curious. Oh, wild about the cat. Maybe. I mean, I did help my parents to move, so I don't know if that's who I was talking about at that time. Shay. Mission stop. Weights of overthinking. Overthinking can be. It's supposed to be well, if you're a naturally overthinker, it can be a superpower. You just have to know how to point it towards. I usually point because I'm an overthinker, so I point it towards improvement, or solving problems, or understanding on a deeper level different aspects of life, right? So you can turn that weight, into a catapult. You can can turn that weight into a catapult. You know, you just got to know what to point it towards. Lucia Feeney says, yeah, Fiona, she's an angel. I like to think that her energy was needed elsewhere. Right? I mean, that's always nice, to think about and say, their energy is supposed to be, and it is supposed to be elsewhere, but remember responsibility, Lucy. So take responsibility and make sure that you assist the dog, assist Fiona in her spiritual travel, through prayer, through creating like assist Fiona through prayer, through creating an altar for her, doing like a little ritual for her. Make sure that you assist her. That's, once again, don't take the spiritual leash off her. You already took the physical one. Put the spiritual leash on her to help guide her and pull her, in the right direction. Right? Don't just assume that she's gonna go where she's supposed to go. Right? Yeah, she's capable of going another place because she, as she transitions. That doesn't mean she's just gonna go there. Right? We have the spiritual people in the spiritual world, the spiritual community, leave too much up to fate, you could say, right? As if you're not a part of the fate. Like, you're supposed to just let things happen, but understand, you letting things happen, those things are choosing to make the things happen. And you're choosing to not make anything happen, right? Or you can be part of the fate that chooses, right? So, just take that responsibility. How do you do those rituals and break spiritual contracts? Well, that's like through different like prayers or different or do guided meditations, right? And Duüblè can run you through those guided meditations if you book with her, right? Or you can do your own meditation as well, right? But you got to find the contracts in the spiritual realm and break them. It's easier once you've been helped at least one time to go through it and find it, and then sometimes people are able to do it themselves after that. Mission stop, respect the pain of knowledge as we be the God we love, and one be the God you love. Ashe. So many in one. Ashe. Miss a shot and get over it. Ashe. Okay. All right. Guave, you mentioned seeing faces in a rug. Can you speak further to that? Sometimes I am able to see faces in odd places, objects too. None that I can specify off the top of my head, but the rug is perfect. Yeah, those are just, the spirits that you see, the different spirits, whether it be ancestors or certain deities or entities or, some other being in another realm or whatever, another dimension. But yeah, those are, when you see those faces, or it could just be the spirit of that particular, thing. Like if you see the faces in a tree, right? But yeah, like that's one way to see the spiritual realm, right? Some people can just see spirits just flat out, just hovering around them all the time. And then, when then some of us were not quite there, but you can see the spirit within objects. And I usually try to get rid of them in my mind because I don't want them latching on to me. Graffiti once you are conscious and aware of these shifts, how do you go about navigating the mind and space so that you aren't negatively affected? can positively benefit. There is no way to not be negatively affected by something. And you're not going to always positively benefit. So that's the wrong question, because that's a fantasy type of idea, because you need the negative just as much as you need the positive. So essentially it's not really possible. The only way to truly always positively benefit from something, from everything, if you want to positively benefit from everything, you have to just accept all things that are quote unquote negative and positive. Right? You just have to accept it, and then you will positively benefit from it, right? But otherwise, understand that, as far as how do you go about navigating the mind? Well, part of navigating the mind is understanding that when you see you feel these shifts, sometimes you got to go to war with the shifts. You got to go to war with the spirit or the being that is shifting, right? It's not, just trying to be in a space of neutrality or just trying to ignore, trying to just be in a space of love or whatever. It ain't going to get rid of the being that you got to destroy, right? So, but you don't have to destroy necessarily. You can fight somebody and not be mad. I've punched people in the face and wasn't mad about it. Right? I punched people in the face and I was mad about it. Right? So, but you don't have to you don't have to have negative energy in order to get rid of negative energy.
You two been talking to, by the way.
Yeah, I see. Hello, how do I cleanse myself, says Caitlin McKell. I am,
They said something for that too.
I am very spiritual. I hear and see them. I choose not to communicate with them. How do I get my space in my mind, right, to keep depression away? Okay, there's a couple of different things there. Well, when it comes to depression, well, there are certain spirits that deal with depression. One being depression itself, right? Two, sometimes it's coming from people that have the depression latched on to them, right? So you can cleanse your space using sage, using Palo Santo. I would use both. I'll use the Palo Santo first and then the sage. You burn them, and then say some type of chant while you are burning. That chant has to do, whoever you want to chant to or chant with, whatever beings or entities you want to use, of removing and visualize as you're chanting the energy being removed, dispersing, being obliterated, things like that, right? That's the most effective way to cleansing your space, cleansing your body, right? Things like that, right? And then from there, a big part of depression as well is not having a direction to go in. That's what usually causes a lot of depression. Depression spawns from not moving, meaning you don't know where to. You're not growing. You're not going to the next stage. You're like stuck in a space. So then it's kind of like that maze run game. You run the maze on your foot. So like a game on your phone. You run the maze. If you stop running, then the whatever that's chasing you will catch you and squash you, right? It's like that. When we stop running, when we stop moving, the thing that's chasing us, it catches us, starts squashing us, right? Starts to press, right? So by moving forward and knowing in which direction you're supposed to be moving in, you don't have to have all the answers, but to have some type of answer, that helps to keep the depression off of you as well. That helps keep the depression off of you. Makes it harder for those depression spirits to latch back onto you.
Can't catch me.
Guav says sounds like a how to transmute question.
Stenography.
Ashe. Benevolence. I got rid of that tapestry. Ashe. Balance. Graffi's balance in experiences, right? Sure. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Every experience is neutral, just how you perceive it. Yes, yeah, that's more essentially. You have, a neutral perspective on each experience, but then also though keep a positive outlook on the future, while at the same time looking negatively upon the things that are unhealthy. Okay, Michael, I want better next month. I turned 22 with my 1-year-old. I'm trying to get better. Shay. Well, it sounds like, and there's other aspects to it too. It's like, family, relationships, and things like that. So it is a multi-layered challenge when dealing with things like depression. Ephraim says, I'm lost right now. I don't know where to start over. I've hit rock bottom in my life from my own mistakes. Yeah. Well, it's hard to give advice because when I don't know you. I don't even know if you're a man or a woman. I don't know your ethnicity. I don't know your background. I don't know what the rock bottom looks like or what you've gone through or what you know. So you may need to set up like a consultation at CrystalineMars.com, or DM me at Gypsy Calhoun.
I think consultations would be good for you to bring.
Do I not have consultations on my thing?
No, you already got those packages.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So you could, but DM me at Gypsy Calhoun or at Omni Meta Spiritual, I'll see what, if I get more background on it, I could be more helpful. Blue Water 895 says, don't you think doing ceremonies is a waste of time when you can literally just ask God for anything? Okay, well, let's unpack that. People ask God for all kind of things and they don't get it. You're right, you can ask God for anything, but you didn't finish the sentence, which is, even though you might not get it. So even asking, think about it this way. Why, when you go to churches, it could be a Catholic church, it could be a Baptist church, it could be a Protestant church, why do they all have ceremonies? Why do Catholics, priests, burn sage in their temples, right? In their churches. Right. Why is music played in a certain way? Right. If that's all you had to do was just ask God and things would go a certain way, then why do the churches themselves have ceremonies? When you get married, it's a ceremony. When you get baptized, it's a ceremony. See, but you forget about that. So when you see someone else talking or doing ceremonies, but not inside and of a church, you forget that, wait a minute, all churches do ceremonies. That's a spiritual thing. In the Bible, they do ceremonies. They create whole altars. They build crystal chest plates. They do ceremonies. They teach you how to do ceremonies in the Bible. So if it was just ask God, and that's all you had to do, if you didn't have to take the blood of the lamb and wipe it on the door, isn't that a ceremony? Ceremonies. So obviously God likes ceremonies, blue water, and that's why it's not a waste of time, because God, even the Bible God believes it's definitely necessary. I hope that answers your question. Joe Martin says, I'm worried about the man-made frequencies changing us. We have sold out to data collection. Yeah, so, well, think about it like this. It's about survival of the fittest, right? So, when the elements get harsh, when the terrain changes, those who survive are the ones who can adapt. So when you got these frequencies, just like when radio first frequencies started being harnessed, and they started creating radio towers and radio shows and all that kind of stuff, there was a certain percentage of people that got cancer from those radio signals, and then the rest of the people were able to adapt to the frequency and keep living normally. Same thing happens with the internet. Same thing happens with Wi-Fi and 5G. You gotta adapt, right? And as the frequencies go up and the AI goes up, you gotta adapt, and you gotta dig deep into yourself and start doing the spiritual work to raise your frequency to the point to where that frequency ain't strong enough to throw yours off, right?
Can't catch me.
The diodes and the crystals, they can only do so much. At a certain point, you got to be the walking crystal, which technically you are. Exactly, in your positive and negative perspective, Ashe. Let's see, is there anything else here? Let's see. These spiritual predictors can't heal their own. Ace. Can't predict how broke and living they are. You don't say that about doctors. Doctors aren't curing anybody, but you'll still go to a doctor, right? Just because or let's say like a personal trainer or a coach. Maybe that coach or that personal trainer can't move like he or she used to, but they can still train and coach you, So it's it sounds good to say that, and it kind of makes sense, but understand that well, spiritual predicting has nothing to do with healing, so that's one thing. Healers heal. So if you say it like this, healers aren't healing, then that'd be another thing. But spiritual predictors have nothing to do with healing, right? Also, spiritual predictors are not God. Remember that. They're not professing to be God. They don't see all things. They can see a limited view of things. They can see just more than you, right? Just like a doctor even a holistic doctor, right? They can't heal all things. They can just heal more things than you because they practice it. They practice, the art of healing, right? But to expect them to just be infallible and just to be, the perfect healer, it's the same thing trying to expect someone to be the perfect trainer or the perfect teacher or the perfect predictor. We all have limitations. We all have limitations. And also understand that being a predictor doesn't mean that you can change the future. It just means I can tell you what the future is, right? So even if I can tell you what the lottery numbers are, that doesn't mean that you can actually pick them because it just might not be in your future, right? It's just like when you're about to leave the house and you got a bottle of water and you're about to take this bottle of water with you because you better go to the gym and you got it with you and and you put it right in front of the door to make sure you don't forget it, and then you end up getting into a conversation or you end up getting something in the fridge or you end up going upstairs and then you walk out the house without that bottle of water and you get all the way to the gym and you realize I left it sitting right there in front of the door, right? Because you just were not meant to bring that bottle of water with you. The same thing can happen even if I told you the winning lottery ticket numbers. If you're not meant to win, you might even actually buy the ticket and then lose the ticket, right? Or you might be going to the store to go buy the ticket and then get caught up in a conversation, or somebody gets into a car accident and you never make it to the store to get the ticket, the lottery ticket, or you forget about it because you got an emergency, or you didn't get to the store soon enough and it closed, right? So just because someone can predict things doesn't mean that they can make you rich or even make themselves rich. That's not how it works. Predictors don't control, psychics basically, right? Don't control the future. They can only tell you of the future and whatever part that they can even see to begin with, but they can't control it though. Don't get it confused with controlling it. Uh, um Well, Marius Rango, I'm sure I'm more educated than you. You say I have no education. I'm actually pretty educated, and I went to uh, a decently prestigious college that most people cannot get into, and I graduated, right? Um, and I was a personal trainer, and I was actually certified personal trainer for quite a few years, right? Yeah. So I do understand something about education. All right. So I'm not just speaking as an uneducated person. As far as science, you know, um, I didn't end up getting my major in physics, but I was studying physics for the first half of my college career. But I ended up switching to economics, so I do not understand a little something about science. And predicting the future there's a lot of science behind it, but you have to be willing to actually study and dig deep into the science of things like predicting the future or, you know, talking to seeing spirits or whatever, right? It's not magical. It's just vibrational. But it seems magical to you because you don't understand it and you've never studied it. Therefore, to you, it seems like hocus pocus. You know? Because you're uneducated, Rungo. It's okay, though. You're uneducated. I've predicted some things pretty accurately, right? But my prediction abilities, you know, are limited. There's certain people that are better. There's a lot of people who are way better than me, and there's some people that can't even do close as good as I can do, right? There are different levels, like in every field. There's different levels of sports athletes. There's different levels of IQ. There's just different levels to everything. Right. Which is, science also tells us that there's different levels. You know, but you want to put everything on this one level of when people don't want to accept a certain thing, they try to put perfection. You got to be perfect. That's not scientific. That doesn't sound like an educated person. It's a very good answer about the ceremonies, Ashe, benevolence. What's the point of seeing the future if you can't change it? That's a good question, Lucy. That is a very intelligent question. What is the point of seeing the future if you can't change it? Well, one, sometimes you can change it. Right, remember for those who've seen it, Avengers, in the Infinity Wars, Doctor Strange looked into the future to pick what to do with the time stone. There were options. There were options. Right? See, this is where you gotta like understand how time and vibration works. There are certain points in time and future where you can make a choice on which direction to go, but there's certain things that are stagnant and cannot be changed. So that's why there's a point to know in the future, because some things can be changed, some things cannot. But typically you'll be given the future sometimes just to prepare yourself for it. Sometimes it's just to prepare yourself for it. Sometimes you're given the future because you need to see the future in order for that future to even happen. Sometimes that's just the case. You seeing the future or someone telling you about the future allows that future to happen, right? Sometimes you're given the future so that you cannot do that and have a choice to pick something else, a different direction, right? So yeah, those are some of the reasons for seeing the future. And also, sometimes you're given the future and you're not really, let's say like in the future, you see or someone else sees a car about to hit you. You don't see the car hit you, but you see the car about to hit you. And then later that day, you start to see scenarios of what you saw in your vision, and you see the car coming, and then you step out the way of the car. Right? The future helped you to get out the way of the car. Now, did it change your future? I don't know, because you didn't see the future of what happened when the car was coming your way. You didn't get to see that part. You don't know if you ever got hit or if you moved out the way. You know, but you seeing the vision of the car coming to you allowed you to move out the way, right? So there are different reasons why we're able to see, or you're given the future. Now, but also understand this other concept is that there may not necessarily be a reason either, because the reason why anyone's even capable of seeing the future is because there's no such thing as the future. The future is just the past that you haven't experienced, or at least you don't think you've experienced. It's like a circle. Time is a circle. So if the circle is going, clockwise or counterclockwise, whatever it is for you guys, it's going this way. To you, anything ahead of you seems like the future. But technically, you keep going round and round back into the same circle. So if you've already experienced it, but you come around and experience it again, technically you're re-experiencing the past, which means that we are all capable of seeing at any point in time, just like a movie, how you can like rewind and fast forward and go wherever in the movie that you want, pick a scene wherever you want, right? Because there's really no time. There's an illusion that there's time in the movie, but it's really already has happened. Right? So sometimes you see the future just because you've already done it, or you see it because you just have the you're able to tap into a part of you is able to tap into the idea that the tap into the stream of time, because time is not real. So you can just tap into any space and time. And there's no real purpose to it. There might not be a purpose to it. It's just that you can because it's possible. Right. So there's multiple reasons for seeing the future, right? Multiple points. Right. One of those points being there might not be a point at all. It's just something that you're able to do. Rongo says, if you were educated, you wouldn't say all the things you say. Why would I not say all the things I say? You do realize that educated people usually say, the educated people tend to, the more educated you go, the more you tend to go away from the fray, the more you expand possibilities and concepts. It's actually uneducated people who just follow the status quo. They just say what everyone is saying. They just go along with the program. Or maybe you're saying, if I was educated, meaning if I was brainwashed in the educational system, then I wouldn't be speaking the way you're saying. You're right. So I'm not really educated, as far as I'm not brainwashed. I was not brainwashed by the school system, which is why I don't talk the way that you would expect. So I can see that. I understand that. I see where you're coming from, Rongo. You're actually trying to let us all know that I'm not brainwashed. I appreciate that. I appreciate you helping to let everyone know. Love, peace, and happiness. The two of you have a beautiful night. You as well, honey Ivy. Can't you see warning signs and adhere to them? You can. You can, benevolence. Kong no pause. What would you... How do you get out of that? I don't know. What would you do if you were living the same day or looping through those things that feel stagnant? What would you do if living the same day? Ask a question. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I was living the same day. I don't know. There's definitely movies on there. There was a besides Groundhog Day, there was like a new movie about that was, I don't know if it's a movie, I think it was a show. I think it was was the X-Files? No, not the X-Files. The Twilight Zone. The new Twilight Zone episodes. I think there was one like that. Somebody was living the same day over and over. That was interesting. Time's illusion, Ashe. Exactly, I get that. You're great to remind them. Ashe. Just because you study physics doesn't mean you're a physician. Well, a physician is a doctor. So okay. So I'm just gonna deal with this real quick, and then I'm just gonna leave because I don't want to embarrass Marius Rungo anymore. So okay, so Marius Rungo said just because you studied physics doesn't mean you're a physician. I just merchant marine for being captain, but I'm not. Obviously, they're not very good at typing English or something. Master's degree on international economics affairs with captain major. I don't even know what captain major, what that means. So let's put it that way. You make money from asking. I make money because I produce. First off, we all know that someone that's that educated and somehow a captain major, whatever that means, someone who's that educated with a master's in economics and affairs, whatever that is, they wouldn't be on YouTube telling educated people don't come on social media to talk about how educated they are compared to the person on the. They just don't do that.
Especially if you don't even know them.
They just don't do that. They don't do that at all. That's first of all. Two, if you majored in physics, you are a physicist, not a physician. A physician is a doctor. I know physician and physics, it sounds the same, right? It sounds like, but it actually goes with doctor. If you were educated, like you said, you would know that. You'd be a physicist, not a physician. Right. And then lastly, actually, I have my degree in. I actually have my degree in economics. So, and that affairs part, that I've never heard of economics/affairs. Like, I don't even know what that affair. What, you having an affair? I don't get it. Right. So.
Drops mic.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
He's gonna probably hide in the pillow.
He just messed up at too many points, and the first one was when he tried to be too smart. Tried to be too smart. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
I say, look what I created, y'all. So I wrapped this piece while Baba was doing this thing, and I'll be adding it to the site. I'm sure tonight, but I wrapped this selenite piece. Isn't it good? Isn't it good? Hold on, that's the back side. This is the front. This is a very powerful piece here. Your selenite is good for charging, cleansing, clarity, providing a protective shield around your aura as well. And I have it on a double link chain. This baby is gorgeous. I'm gonna have to make me one for myself. Oh, wee! I love this little snake wrap. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to the read. Let's go ahead and close. Ashay. Thank you, Honey Ivy. What chapter are we on? Today was a short show. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. What's the day? So stay ready? Nope. We did invest, he and me. Sleep. Interesting. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm getting my life. All right, y'all. So y'all know we're reading from the book 90, Building the Ultimate Empire. Benevolent said, how can I get it? DM me. DM me, baby boo. When we get off the live, or you can go ahead and do that now. But we're reading from the book 90. You can get your copy on Crystaline Mars or CrystalineMars.com or Amazon. And it's titled Sleep. And it reads, there's two different and yet somehow relatable ideas when it comes to sleep. We either sleep too much or sleep too little. You either need to be able to push past fatigue, sacrifice sleep for something greater, or make sure that you schedule the proper amount of rest so that you stay healthy and sharp enough to be effective in your work. You see, these ideas have been contradicting themselves since the first talk of success ever came up. And when you dive deeper, you come to find that the action of too much sleep or too little contradicts itself as well. Look, we all know people who don't get enough sleep and yet they thrive throughout the day. They are effective and they are most productive. They may not like it, but they need every hour possible to make their dreams come true. On the other end of the lack of sleep spectrum, some of us can't handle going without sleep. Some individuals feel totally dysfunctional when they get less than 8 hours of sleep. And it's not that they are lazy or don't want to work. They just feel they need all of their hours in the night in order to give their best during the day. Here's a good example of contradiction. Eric Thomas, one of the top motivational speakers in the world, has been quoted many times on his philosophy on sleep. You have to earn the right to sleep. Something along those lines. In one of his most popular inspirational speeches on YouTube, E.T. states, if you really want to be successful, sometimes you have to stay up 3 days in a row. Why? Because if you go to sleep, you might miss your opportunity to be successful. Interesting, don't you think? But what about Lewis Howes? The podcast phenom and best-selling author of The School of Greatness, has sold thousands of books across the world, had his podcast downloaded by millions of people, and has built a 7-figure business on LinkedIn. In his book, The School of Greatness, Lewis talks about the importance of sleep and how it is vital to your success. It not only keeps you focused throughout your day, but it also is the most important factor to the vitality of your health. The funny thing is, these two successful entrepreneurs and public figures are really good friends. And to top it all off, they believe in the importance of how you utilize your sleep every day. Eric speaks on how you must be very deliberate with what time you go to sleep and when you wake up. Lewis preaches and stands by the importance of hustle and willingness to go above and beyond to get your message out into the world. Meaning they both know that sleep is vital, and yet they both agree that the hustle has to push you beyond your pain, fatigue, and lack of time to sleep. They say money doesn't sleep, and neither does the ultimate empire. In it, there is a constant revolving door. Through it passes ideas, plans, strategies, problems, solutions, help, chaos, negativity, positivity, success, and failure. Did I mention that this is constant? Whether your empire is small or a Fortune 500, whether you are just starting or you are 25 years knee deep in the experience, whether you have messed up too many times to count or have built a life that is to be envied by the masses, your empire is constantly changing, battling, and adapting. You can sleep and miss out on the next opportunity, or you can pull an all-nighter and suffer greatly in your performance. As you can see, there is no straight linear answer that fits all. I think the true answer lies in how bad you do want something and what is necessary for your body to get there. If you're on the road to trying to become a professional bodybuilder, sleep may be essential to your body. If you want your muscles to get the best recovery possible as to build your body into peak condition. If you're just starting a new restaurant, you may need to go days in a row where you sleep less than 4 hours to make sure that business is handled correctly on the administrative side, the marketing side, the customer service side, as well as the kitchen side. I don't know what it is for you, but I do know that sleep is very important in terms of how much you need or need to give up, depending on your body, your mind, and your current situation or dreams. Sleep is one of the most important factors to building the ultimate empire, so I urge you to figure out How much do you need in order to build it right? Okay, so that may be, something that you're battling with, something that we're being called to explore when it comes to seeing what sleep looks like for you, and understanding that there may be some nights, where you have your late nights, early mornings, and then the next day you might go to sleep a little earlier. So what do you need? And so that's something for us to explore as we forge ahead in this upcoming season that we are entering. So that concludes today's read. Thanks for vibing with us, baby boos. I love y'all. I will see y'all very soon on the next episode of Crystaline Mars show. Enjoy the rest of your night on purpose. Nakupenda. Ashe. Hold on, that bell was weak. All right. Ashe, honey ivy.